everyone, Financially Free Dee here, and we're going to talk about how to get your maximum credit limit with Navy Federal Credit Union. So if you are a person who has a credit card that's maybe with a $3,000 limit, $5,000 limit, you're going to want to tune into this video so that you can learn to raise that $3,000 to $5,000 to $25,000 to $30,000. So first step that you want to do is you want to watch my internal score video for Navy Federal. In that video, I let you know how you can raise your internal score with Navy Federal to 450, which is the highest amount that you can have. And this helps you to get higher credit limits with Navy Federal. Secondly, you want to have another credit card that actually has a limit that you would like to have. So let's say you have another credit card that's $20,000 and you want to ask Navy Federal for $20,000. You want to be sure that that is reporting on your credit report. Again, this is a gem. This is something that most people don't understand. Not all of your credit cards are actually reporting on your credit report. So before you apply with Navy Federal, you want to check that that card that has a $20,000 limit is reporting to your credit report so that Navy Federal can see that and mirror that limit. Next, you want to be sure to have a direct deposit set up with Navy Federal. They want to see that you have money coming in and out of the account on a regular basis so that they can trust that you will not run away once they give you this unsecured credit card with a limit of $25,000 or $30,000. Another thing that is super important that I talked about in my How I Got $100,000 in Business Credit in 6 months video. So if you haven't had a chance to do so, make sure you check that out. I will post it here. Please be sure you put at least $10,000 in your checking account. This is how I personally got my limit raised with Navy Federal. I went from $15,000 to $30,000 by putting $10,000 in my checking account before I applied. Some other factors that you can use to actually get maximum credit limits with Navy Federal is one, you want to have a personal credit score of 760 and above. That is super important. You also want to be sure that you don't have more than 3 hard inquiries in the last 60 days. That is something that you want to be sure of. You want to make sure that you also do not have any late payments with Navy Federal. If you have any late payments, do not apply. You have to wait until you get those late payments removed. Another thing that you want to be sure of is that you are not at your maxed out credit limit. This is a gem. I have several clients, which you'll see in some upcoming testimonials, talk to you about how I've helped them. And one of the things that I have to make sure that I let them know is they look at your utilization when they are approving you for credit limits. So you want to pay those credit cards down. Pay them down to below 10% utilization. Again, this is key. Once you pay down your credit card utilization less than 10%, then you apply for a credit limit increase. Another thing that you want to be sure to do is you want to be sure that you're using your card if you already have a card with them. If you do not already have a card with them, then it will not apply. But if you currently have a card with them and you want to get an additional card or you want to raise your credit limit, make sure that you're actually using that card. Use it and pay it off. Use it and pay it off. Use it and pay it off. That's very, very, very important. Some other factors that may help you out with getting a higher credit limit with Navy Federal is you can get a pledge loan and pay it down at least 80%. That's one way that you can get a higher credit limit. Another way that you can get a higher credit limit is by getting a flagship checking account. That is super important. If you get a flagship checking account, you can probably qualify for the flagship rewards card. And one way that you can be sure that you actually qualify for this card is by using the pre-approval tool on NavyFederal.org. when you use the pre-approval tool, you'll be able to see the cards that you are eligible for. So that is one thing that you want to do. One of the most important things, which is key and which is gem here, and is why I was able to get $500,000 from Navy Federal Credit Union, is I have a long-standing relationship with them. So you want to do relationship banking. You're going to hear me talk about this in all of my videos. It's very important to have as many products from a bank or a credit union before asking them for large sums of money. That increases your approval odds. That allows you to go from $5,000 or $3,000 to $25,000 or $30,000. And if you're a person like myself that's at $30,000 or $40,000, that allows you to get $80,000. So you want as much of a relationship as you possibly can with the bank before asking them for large credit limits. Another key factor or a bonus factor in this is you want to have as much money coming into the account as you possibly can. So if you get paid $1,000 a month or even $10,000 a month, you want that money to hit your account via direct deposit if possible. They will see that $10,000 or $1,000 is coming to your account, and they can trust that they can actually approve you for higher limits. So let's recap. It's very important for you to make sure your personal credit score is where it needs to be. It's very important that you have your pre-approval tool on NavyFederal.org. Check and see the cards that you're eligible for. You want to make sure that you have another card that is equal to the amount that you would like. Or if you have a card with Navy Federal already and you want to increase your credit limit, you want to be sure that you are actually paying that utilization down less than 10%. Another thing that you want to be able to do is make sure you have at least $10,000 in the account before asking for above $25,000 in a credit limit. Then you want to do relationship banking, and this is how you get maximum credit limits with your credit cards at Navy Federal. And this also applies to other banks as well, but I'm personally speaking about Navy Federal in this video, and that is how I was able to raise my credit score with one credit card from $3,000 to $40,000 limit. So please be sure to check out the videos that I mentioned in this video, because they will help you get to $500,000 in credit limits. And I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one.